value is the original cause for the ultimate experience. So value is what it has to start with. If your values are right, everything else is going to work out. If your values are not in alignment with highest good, with primal power, with supreme cause, then the degree to which they're not is the degree to which things are not as reflective of that. But as we say in the cleansing world too, progress, not perfection. Just start getting there. Start looking at your values. Start seeing what is, your values are your God. So whatever it is you value, whatever you're focusing on is your God. And, if you think about it that way, it becomes really serious. What am I focused on? What do I really value? What you're focused on is going to tell you what you're motivated towards. So you'll figure that out in your own time, but think about it. And, and remember that your thoughts are like your children. They're, in biblically, when they reference the shepherd, I think they're referencing the thoughts. To be a good shepherd is to be a good shepherd of your thoughts, a good shepherd of those are your sheep, your children, your sheep. Feed my sheep. Feed them with good, nourishing thoughts. The mind is filled with anti-energetic directives. We have to make sure that we identify them and we prevent that from continuing. Distraction, disorder, and confusion are your biggest enemies. Okay, they will contribute to further loss. Remember that more gathers more unto itself, and loss gathers loss. So the more you're in a situation where you're confused, distressed, you have anxiety, you're distracted, there's disorder, those are the things that are going to contribute to your further loss. So number one becomes order and cleanliness in your mind. You've got to stalk your thoughts, stalk your values, stalk your belief system, stalk your attitude, stalk your vision, just to track down all the losses and to make sure that they're all those aspects are starting to line up with unity consciousness. And then really just start to see that chord, start to feel, you can just make that upward climb in your mind, that just kind of like, you can see yourself climbing up the golden chord, if that helps you. And just peeking and seeing it. Is there an oversoul up there? Ooh, wow, okay, well maybe I need to be driving the bus from there because driving the bus from here isn't really working so well. Okay, so then you work toward the new value of the primal power in the center of it all, and then you start to just clean up your mind and straighten up all those threads. Remember that saying, I'm going to straighten you out. That's what has to happen, because the threads of life, they're all gnarled, they're all tangled up, they need to be straightened, and that takes processing, it takes rest, that takes focusing on the vision to burn out all of the chaos. All of those things will help you. And then you must start taking responsibility for your thoughts. It doesn't mean that you have to watch every single thought you have. It would be good if you could, but everything that comes up is going to be connected to your past, your present, or your future, usually all three. So you usually think things because of your belief system, which comes from the values, and that's all rooted in your history, and then you're thinking that in the present, but it's going to lead to the future, and you're probably thinking about the future based on all those things too. So there's this being present enough to recognize what things are rooted in and what their outcome is going to be based on what you now know. And boundaries come right back into play. We have all these pores, these orifice pores. They're huge. The eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, the field, we're receiving. It's impressing upon our minds all the time. It's either jumbling it up or it's clearing it up. So remember that constant of change. Either the mind is being better ordered, cleaned out, straightened out, or it's being turned into even a greater state of chaos. Okay, that constant change is really, really critical. The shedding has to happen. You have to leave behind all the old to create the new. That you can't put new wine in old wineskins. All those things we talked about with relation to in relation to the emotions, it has to go. Your identification, your labels are going to come from the old value system. They're definitely because otherwise you wouldn't have them. And you're going to see that in this new way of being, this new way of engaging with life, you're not going to want labels. You're not going to want to be overly identified with anything. It's not easy because it means that you're seeing the world differently, operating with the world differently to everyone around you is always, um, it's not necessarily easy, but it doesn't mean it can't be great. It, it sometimes that which isn't that easy is great, and this is one of those times. And there's a big price to be paid for being accepted in this culture. It's the price of your primal power. It's the price of having a mind that is operating from your oversoul, that is filtering down the highest level of consciousness.